So here the course defines a way for the server to specify which origins are allowed to access these resources. Got it? I'm getting no responses from your side.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
Okay.
in order to prevent the browser from restricting your requests, we use CORS. So, and I want you people to mention a couple of middlewares, that is app.use and express.json as well as CORS. After installing the CORS, you need to write a couple of middlewares before connecting the MongoDB. Write it fast and inform me whether if whether you have completed it or not. Then we will start with our crude operations. Done, everyone? All right. So let's start with our crude operations. So crude operations over here stands for create, read, update as well as delete. So in order to create any data, what method we use is that we have an post method that we use to create a data. Like I'm writing the code simultaneously. You people also write in your Visual Studio codes. All right. App.post, and after defining the method, we have to define the endpoints. All right. I'll define this endpoint as well as I'll write an asynchronous function which will have a couple of parameters within it, that is request as well as response, and this has to be an arrow function. So within this arrow function we have to provide a couple of blocks, that is try catch block. Got it? Is everyone writing the code?
Yes, ma'am.
So we will define a variable over here, that is const user is equal to new user, and this user u has to be capital. We did in the previous class, right? We made a user.js file within which we made a schema. You people remember it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And it takes the parameter from the body. Whichever data we pass, it will take the data from the body. That is why request.body is mentioned over here. Got it? And within the asynchronous function, we have to mention the await statement. And the await statement has, and now we will save the user. And then we will provide the user with a response with a status code 200, and in the JSON file, we'll pass the user. Got it? How many of you do know about the status code 200?
It's a success status code.
Exactly. And for the
Success status.
file not found error or the error status, we write 400. As well as
I'm 400 sharp.
we can pass,
400 for
yeah, that is file not found error. Dot JSON will
201.
pass the error over here. This is our post method. So let's check it in our postman testing application. So here the method has to be post, right? and the endpoint that we have provided is user. Now I'm going to make a user and check whether we are being able to create it or not. I'll provide the name, that is Banani, and I'll provide with the email. Let the email be banani@gmail.com, and also I'll provide the age as 20. Let me check if it works. I'll have to run the server at first. Got it? I'll save it and then I'll run the server.
You can use 201 for creating that, no, ma'am?
For creating what?
201 status.
Yes, we can also use it. All right. See, we have created a user whose name is Banani. She has the email banani@gmail.com, as well as she is having her age as the 20. Now remember that the ID that we are having over here, because the ID will be useful while we retrieve the amount of users that we have made over here. Got it?
Ma'am, please share the screen.
See. Any doubts still here? And now what we will do is we will retrieve the user. We will retrieve all the users that we are having in our database. Got it? I have made a lot of users in our MongoDB, and after writing this code, we will get all of their details. So for retrieving the user, what method do you people say we have to use?
App.get.
Get, ma'am.
Exactly. Yes. For this as well, we have to mention the endpoint. I will mention the endpoint as users, plural. Got it? And over here as well, I will provide an asynchronous function which will take two parameters, that is request as well as response. This also has to be an arrow function, and then we will mention try catch blocks within this as well. So in the try block, I'll mention a variable is equal to await user dot, and in order to find the users, which method do we have to use is that we have to use the find method. Got it? And then we have to send the response. Res.send 201 dot, within the JSON file we have to send the user.
Their status, ma'am. It's not a send.
Oh, sorry. And if we do not find the if we do not find any user, what we have to return is that it will respond with the status code dot json error is dot message. So let's test another code that we have written, that is to get all the users that we are having in our MongoDB. See, we are having Sean, Sana, Shanaya, as well as Banani that we have just created. You people want me to show all these users in my MongoDB? Shall I show you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See, in my MongoDB, if I refresh this, see, I have just created na banani@gmail.com. It is showing over here. All these things, Sean, Sana, Shanaya, Banani, all these things we are having over here as well. See, Sean, Sanaya. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what if I want to retrieve the user based on their IDs? You people can see over here, right? An ID is also being generated. See?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I want the users to fetch them from their ID, what code do I write? Do I need to write is that get the users that we have using their IDs. App dot get. Can anyone tell me what endpoint do I need to write over here?
User slash colon ID.
ID.
Exactly. We also need to mention the ID over here as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mention.
You people might be familiar with this, na? Yet
Yes,
request and response. And inside this as well, we will be having try catch block.
yes, ma'am.
And within the try catch block, we will provide another variable user is equal to await user dot
Find by ID.
exactly find by ID. And you know what parameter do I have to pass over here?
Pass that params dot ID.
Yes. And if the user is not, and just a second, yes. After that, we will respond with the status code 200 and then the JSON file with user and if any error occurs, in order to handle that error, we will provide with the respond with the status code 400. And within the JSON file, we will provide the error. Will show the error message. Got it? Let's see if it works. So let me copy the ID of Shanaya. We'll copy user control V. Just a second. Pasted it. See, I'm getting the response as Shania because I have passed the ID of Shania. Using that, I am getting the data of Shania. Is everyone able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Till now, we are done with 3 of our requests, right? Or 2 of our requests, you may also say. And what if I want to update the data of any user? What method do I have to use?
app.put.
Update method.
Perfect.
Put method.
Post.
Sorry, post method.
No, dear, you were right. It will be put method. Over here as well, we will provide the endpoint as user as well as its ID.
Slash ID.
Yeah. And then an asynchronous function having request as well as response as the parameter. So here I will mention a variable, await user dot find and update, find by ID and update.
And we should use
And here as well,
we should
yes,
use
please
we should
speak.
use try catch black.
Yeah, it needs to be mentioned within the try catch block. Good. Tell me what parameter will I write inside this?
Request params ID, comma request
Yes,
body.
request params.
Params ID.
And it will take the input from the body, which is why we will also mention request dot
Body.
body. Got it? After that, we'll also have to mention a new thing, that is, if we do not use it, the request.params.id will return us with the old document that we have. So in order to prevent it from happen, we will use a new keyword as well as which has to be true, the new keyword which has to be true, as well as another keyword. Just I'll write and show you people. Has to be true. And run validator. So you know what the MongoDB does? It by default does not validate the data. So in order to make MongoDB validate the data, we have to make the run validator as true. Got it? And again, if we do not find the user may not be existing, right? Then what we will do is we will return with an error, that is response.status 404 4, and then within the JSON file I'll write user not found. And if we find the user, then we will provide the response rest.json
Dot user.
user. Got it? And in the catch block, we will provide the error. Res.status 404.json, and within the JSON, we will provide the error. Let's see if it works. The method will be put, and I want to update the name of Shania as Sanya. Let's send it and see what happens. See, it got changed, right? Are you people able to understand what I am doing over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And we are doing the last of the CRUD applications, that is deleting a entry from the MongoDB data.
Deleting.
And what method?
Delete. Slash users ID.
The try catch block. And within the try catch block, we will use a variable user is equal to await
User dot find
user. Yes.
and by ID. And
Find by ID and delete. And request dot params dot ID.
ID.
And if we do not find the user, what we will do?
user not
Error.
found.
Yes. Return with res dot status 404 dot JSON user not found. And within the catch, we will define the error.
We are not sending the user back, ma'am, after deleting.
Yeah, we have to pass the user as well. Res.json user. The JSON file, we will provide the error. Error.message. Let's see if the last application works. And over here, I want to delete Sanya. And let's check if Sanya still exists in our database. Let's refresh it. Yeah. See, one of the entries has been deleted, right? We are having 3 entries over here. Got it, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So we are done with the CRUD applications
Yes,
for today. So tell me what doubts that you people are having till now. Shall I stop sharing the screen?
And when we creating the data, if we give the input fields with the numbers, then it goes, what will happen?
Sorry, please repeat your question.
When we creating a user data, if we give in the place of username like numbers, then it is not good practice number.
See, in place of the name, are you saying, right? If in the place of the name, what if we will put the numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
See, while writing the schema of the database, what we did the type is equal to string, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the data has to be a string data. Instead of the int data, if we provide the string data, it will not take the data. Got it? And it will provide us with the error.
Ma'am, what if it considered the number as a string?
Yes, ma'am. Even though we write the numbers, it will be taken as string, ma'am.
If
In the
we
quotations.
Sorry, dear, I am not able to listen you. Please repeat.
Ma'am, the number is also a string until we define it. If it is in double quotes, it will be a string.
Let's check what happens if we provide the number in place of the name. Let's update the data. All right. I'll put, let's remove the ID. Let's post something. One, two, three, four, five, six. Is this what you're trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
See. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 @gmail dot. And then I will write the age. 20. Is my screen still visible to all? Yes, it is. Yes. Let's send the data. Let's see what happens.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it will take the string.
So
Until and unless we provide the number within the string, it will take the string as the number as the string. Got it?
it is invalid,
Yes,
my mail ID like that.
How is it invalid?
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means while we have some letters, no, ma'am, in the place of that.
See, it's not necessary. If we place the numbers within the string, then it will treat them as a string only. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we put, see, if I remove the strings from here and provide it with some other data, like 789, 456, it will provide the error for sure, I guess. No, it will take it as well.
and it will also always take it as a string because there is nothing
We give
defined.
required string, no, ma'am.
Yes.
We did not use validators like that.
Please repeat your question.
Then it will always consider it as a string because
Yes,
there is nothing default initialized in it.
exactly. And for the next class, I want to assign a task to you people. That is that you have to build a backend for the job. Got it? For the job website, you have to do a backend in which we are performing all the crude operations. And you have to submit by Sunday.
Then is there anything specific tables or schemas we have to design?
See, it all depends upon you. You have to make the schema including name, age, and whatever things you require for the job backend. Got it?
Should we have to create multiple files for it or only one user schema or user file?
You make a user file only,
Okay.
but it should perform all the operations, all the CRUD operations, like creating a job, then deleting a job, and updating the job information, job's description as well. I want them to be.
So ma'am, the job description and all of them will be in user scheme.
Within the schema, whatever data we required should be there, na?
Yes, ma'am.
That's why you have to mention it.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you describe the title again?
The job backend.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So I will tell the team to provide the question in the group, and they will do that for you people.
Ma'am, please share the today's code to WhatsApp group.
For sure, dear. Once the class we are done with the class, then I'll send it to the team, and they'll provide it to you.
Okay, ma'am.
Just go through the code, connecting like creating the server, connecting it with Mongoose, as well as all the CRUD operations, and tell me which part you are not understanding in the code, as well as in the user schema as well, and then I'll make you understand again.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Can we leave now?
I think so.
Just a second, I'll tell you people when to leave. No, dear, you will not be having classes tomorrow. You will have the class from Friday until Sunday.
Ma'am, what is the use of params, ma'am?
See, what happens now when you are providing any URL in the website, it takes several parameters. Like in this URL, we are having parameters as HMY, YACS, VPT, is all those things, right? Did you people ever work with
Yes, ma'am.
HTML forms?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You worked with it, right? So we use an attribute over there, that is the method attribute. You people might be knowing it.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. So in that method, what we always use, we use a post method. Why?
Yes, ma'am.
Because the post method is always secure. And if we use the get method, then we will get all our data that we have provided in the form as a parameter in our URL. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
That is what
Okay.
Yes,
parameters
ma'am.
have. Yeah. That is what the parameters has their role in the URL, which is why it is always recommendable that we shouldn't ever use get method in the method attribute of the forms.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Main feature of the post method is only to it is secure, right?
Yeah, it is the secure method. How many of you are being able to understand everything in the JavaScript that we are using? Pretty much, I see.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Once we learn React now, afterwards we will make a lot of projects.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
So, some of you tell me what all things do we need to have in our job backend in the schema? After one after another, you tell after raising your hands.
username, email, password, role, and date, time.
Salary ID. Then we can
Skills.
also add, department or which field, like we are working on web development analytics.
Exactly, the developer, the role of the like the role that we have in the jobs, like the trainee, the SDE, and all those things, right? And what if somebody has to relocate from one place to another place? That also we can include in our backend, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So while creating the job backend, one more thing I would suggest you people, try to add one more feature, that providing the user access. Got it? Or don't do the user access. Try to just provide the registration of the user and login of the user, and come to me with what code you have written. Even though I have not taught it yet, but you people try to do it.
With HTML, CSS.
With
No, using JavaScript only.
yeah.
Do a bit of research on it and try to apply it.
So it will
We will be
be
having the next session on the user login as well.
You need to use bcrypt.js and JSON web tokens for that now.
Exactly, Aditya. We have to use the bcrypt.js, in which we will be having the gensalt method in order to
Hash.
encrypt the password.
Unpack.
Yeah, hash the password. We'll be
Unpack.
learning all those things in the next session. Don't worry. We'll also use the OAuth for Google login.
so, ma'am. After completing the project, where we have to submit it?
The team will provide you with it. The platforms and all. Once you contact the team, they will provide you.
Okay.
Creating the models and the routes is efficient for that only, no, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll be studying all those routes, models, etc. in the next class. Got it? Making the
No.
routes, the models.
For now, it this job portal for us.
Yeah.
Only user model is essential for that.
How many of you want us to take one class of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript?
No, ma'am, no need to do.
Many of you are clear with it. So Kanchana, Saishri, Sheikh Sadiq Ali are asking to take the class of HTML.
Instead of
Also,
HTML
ma'am,
and CSS,
JavaScript,
it's better to take JavaScript.
Sorry, dear, you are not audible.
JavaScript.
JavaScript alone is enough.
Okay. So do a thing, try to develop a weather application. All right. If you are not able, then contact the team and post your queries, or else we will see what we can do for it. Try to develop a weather application and all those things. And you have to develop a lot of projects, mini projects, in order to get your concepts clear in JavaScript.
Bootstrap, ma'am.
Yeah, Bootstrap, there is nothing much in Bootstrap. Got it? What you have to do is that you have to take the content delivery network links. Yeah, the CDN links. The CDN links, take it and paste them in your HTML file, and then you are good to go. you just have to mention the class names. Like in order, if you want to take any icon from Bootstrap, what you have to do is that mention a class and then mention BI over there, which stands for Bootstrap icon, and mention whatever icon you want to provide in your HTML page.
Which is better, Tailwind CSS or Bootstrap?
I haven't worked with Tailwind CSS yet, but I'll do in future. But I have worked with Bootstrap, and Bootstrap provides much better things. Like you can add the cards over there, as well as you can also
Tailwind
the
for
button.
just a CSS, na?
Can you please repeat?
Tailwind for the CSS of HTML.
Yeah,
It makes the buttons really like good and it's like
exactly.
pretty much. And use jQuery.
Yeah.
Use of MUI.
See a couple of keywords that we have used while connecting our mongoose to the Node.js. That is, use new URL parser as well as use unified topology. We'll soon be avoiding to use it. Got it? Once we will, I'll teach you. We have to we have to install a .env file library so that we can store whatever data we are having in that file. So in that case, we'll not have to use these keywords, and we'll use another way to connect the mongoose. Got it? I guess many of you might have worked with the .env. We'll be mentioning our JWT token over there as well.
Use it to store an important like password, secret.
Exactly. Secret key, JWT token, port number we can store over there.
MongoDB URL
Mongo
also.
URL.
Cloudinary details also.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you repeat the task you have given to complete?
Ma'am?
I have asked you people to develop a job backend with all the necessary details of the related to the job as well as related to the user that you require in the job backend, and perform all the crude operations that I have taught you till now. And also I have told you people to just try to take the user's email ID and passwords, and then use them to register the user if it does not exist, and if the user exists, then try to log in the user.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you provide all the questions or all the documentation about task in group?
Yeah, I'll send it to the team and they'll forward it to you people.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Should be developed individually.
क्या करना क्या इसको?
So let me tell you one more thing. till now what we were using to import the dependencies that we had in our package.json file, which method did we use to call? Which method did we use in order to import the library till now? No, the require method, right?
Require.
Yeah. And in the previous class, I told you that we can do it using require as well as using import.
We should keep type module, no, ma'am, for that.
We have to mention
Yeah.
type model in our package.json.
Exactly. In the package.json file, let me show. In the package.json file, over here, if we type is equal to, see, we are getting the recommendations, that is module. Over here, then we can import all those files that we are having in our all those dependencies that we are having in our package.json file using import keyword. Got it? And by then we will not have to use a require keyword. Yeah, please tell.
Actually, for the updating the record, we have put method as well as we have the patch method. Now, what is the difference between both of them?
The put method as well as the patch method, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, just wait for a while. So, see, one of the main differences between the put method as well as the patch method is that, so the put method, what it does is it overwrites the existing resource as we have seen while coding, right? But the patch method modifies only the specified fields. Got it? Like when we are updating a user profile and all details, those must be replaced. And in patch method, when we are updating, then only one or few fields can be updated. I'll provide you with a code of the patch method in the next class. We might be having the next class for tomorrow. I have to see. You'll get the message in the group.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Can we leave now?
Wait till 8 o'clock and then you people can leave the meeting.
Ma'am, can we have some personal questions with you?
No, dear, we are not allowed to share our personal details with you people.
Why not?
These things are confidential, na?
Ma'am, personal means for educational and etc. Not that personal.
No, it's not required right now.
Okay.
Ma'am, if the meeting is over, can we go?
Just wait till 8 o'clock, dear, and you people can leave after 8 o'clock. Like, yeah. After 9 o'clock, sorry.
You mean
9 o'clock.
Yeah. So people can leave the meeting now as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.